What is up, guys? Fortnite recently buffed sprites in season 3, and I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about those changes in this video, along with what you need to know about today's power hour. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, comment down below what you think of these changes, and if you guys would like to use my code in the shop when getting anything, it is EvolveJake, just like my channel name is, and it is underneath the webcam at all times. So the first change is going to be improving the effectiveness of the Galaxy and Gummy Sprite variants. So these variants grant an additional effect on top of whatever the Sprite does. The Gummy Sprite makes it to where you get more dust when extracting, and you will now gain 20% more dust when extracting a Gummy variant instead of just 10%, so 20% from 10. And the Galaxy Sprites increase the amount of ammo you get from looting, and now the Galaxy Sprites will increase the amount of ammo you get by 30% instead of just 20%. So a 10% increase to the effect of both of these sprite types. Nothing crazy that's really gonna, blow you out of the water. But I think it does make sense to kind of approve these effects because, in one, they're not the greatest thing that's really gonna affect the outcome of the game. But also, using these type of sprites often puts a target on your back or makes other players want to target you. So if you are going to be using these, there should be, somewhat of a decent reward or something kind of encouraging you to run them. The next change is going to be something that I'm sure a lot of you are excited for, and that is going to be that the spawn rate of sprites was also recently changed. So at the start of the season, it seemed like water, fire, and earth sprites were pretty much everywhere, and every single time you opened a sprite chest, that is what you were going to be getting. And so the water, fire, and earth sprites, as well as their variants, so gummy water, galaxy water, gold water, every type of water, fire, and earth sprite was reduced. So those are going to be dropping less often, and so you now have a higher chance of finding some of the more rare sprites. And while playing after this update, I feel like I definitely was seeing more Punk, King, and Ghost sprites just around the map walking around, or just from looting regular chests. So that is definitely really helpful. If you guys have seen some of my previous videos, the Ghost sprite is the one that I think is the best, and then in build mode, King is the one that I think is the best. So making both of these more common definitely increases your chances of getting a sprite that will actually help you in the match. And also, if you're looking for some of the other, more rare variants of these sprites, this change is definitely going to help you as well. And then also, sprites now have a higher chance of dropping from regular chests. And this is also something that's really going to help you find some of those more rare sprites, because your just opportunity of opening something like a regular chest is much higher than sprite chests. Sprites do have guaranteed sprites, and so the sprite chests are probably still going to be better. But since you can just open up so much more regular chests, increasing the chance of getting sprites from them will have a pretty significant impact, I think, on the amount of sprites you're finding game to game. And the more sprites you're finding, the higher chance you have of getting something that's actually rare or sought after. So I think decreasing the chance of water, fire, and earth and increasing the chance of just getting sprites out of regular chests is something that definitely should have an impact on you finding some of the more special sprite types. And then the Galaxy Demon Sprite will now actually spawn. Initially, when the Galaxy Sprites were added, the Demon version wasn't spawning at all. But that problem has been fixed, and so now the Demon is there. And as I said, once I played after this update, I feel like I definitely noticed some of the other sprite types spawning more frequently. I don't know if I really noticed getting myself more sprites out of regular chests. It wasn't really something I was paying attention to as much. But I was definitely seeing more variety in sprites, and it wasn't just water, earth, or fire every single time. And so the next change we're going to talk about is going to be the power hour, and I'm sure this is something that a lot of people are excited for, because this is going to increase your chance of getting the gummy sprites. The gummy power hour is happening today, and it will actually be 2 hours long instead of just 1. And there are 2 time slots, so there's going to be 4 hours total of this gummy power hour. And during this gummy power hour, the gummy variants will be more common, obviously. Everyone will spawn in with a self-revive device and the Mythic 7 sliding boots, which is going to be absolutely huge. Your health will regenerate if your shield is broken, and you will also gain 2x sprite dust from extractions during this power hour. And the time windows for this event are going to be starting at 2 p.m. Eastern time and going until 4 p.m. And then the second slot is going to be starting at 9 p.m. Eastern time and going until 11 p.m. So like I said, there's 4 total hours of this. And if you are missing any of the gummy variants, this is going to be something that's really helpful for you getting them. But also, The dust you gain from extractions, I think this will be a very good time to farm dust, which can help you in the game. I think most people are going to fixate on the gummies, but getting dust is actually going to be really helpful as well. Because even if you don't care about sprites, like if you just care about playing the game, you don't care about collecting sprites, you would think you don't really care about dust, but you can actually upgrade your weapons at these sprite extraction points. So even if you just want to play normally, it will help you to max out your dust and have a lot of dust. That way you can upgrade your weapons whenever you want and not really worry about the consequences. So even if you don't care about sprites, I would recommend farming dust during this power hour because it's something that can help you out a lot. And if you do want to make the most of this power hour, it would probably be best to just open as many chests and as many sprite chests as you can. The safest way to do this is actually just going to be staying in the storm and looting for a prolonged period of time. The storm in Fortnite is a 1 tick for, I think, 4 zones or 3. I think it switches to 2 at 4, or like after 4th zone. So you can stay in the storm for a majority of the game, and it's not really going to be that big of a deal. You can carry medkits you find from looting or just buy them at vending machines because you're going to be getting gold from looting a bunch. And once you have medkits, the 1 tick storm is pretty much useless and you can walk around while using the medkit. So the storm in Fortnite is like not a real threat for a majority of the game. And so if you want to just loot as much as you can to increase your chance of getting these rare sprites, the best way to do that is just going to be live in the storm, loot the POIs and stuff that are in the storm. You know, some of them will be picked through, but a lot of stuff probably will be unlooted. And then you can loot this way and be relatively uncontested. There probably will be other players doing this for sure, but it's not going to be as dangerous as being in the safe area where a majority of players are going to be. And the 7 boots will also make traveling around the map super quick and easy. So even if you do think like, oh, this POI has been looted, it'll probably be pretty easy for you to just zip over to the other one really quick and then start looting there. And if you do find anything good, like a gummy variant you're missing, I think it would be best to just use a portable extractor and get that out of there. Extracting normally is pretty much always dangerous. Like people will see the extraction going down and then they'll want to come over there and fight you. But I think during these power hours, people are going to be even more like aggro on those because they're going to think, oh, this person just got some special gummy sprite during the power hour. I need to go eliminate them and get that. So if you find something special, I think it would be best to portable extract it. You can extract in the storm, and if you are just wanting to farm dust, probably just extracting in the storm would be the safer play because, as I said, I do think people will be more aggro on this. So whether you care about getting the rare sprites or you just care about, you know, getting the dust, being in the storm is going to be really helpful for you there. And if you do want to get dust, you could just like, you know, have your medkits in your inventory, have your boots in your inventory, collect sprites, bring them to one of the extraction points, and bring a bunch of sprites to one of the extraction points and drop them, and then call it in. And then just once it's there, put all of those sprites in, and you can probably get an incredible amount of dust really quickly, which will allow you to buy more sprites without worrying about the consequences, but will also allow you to upgrade your weapons in the match. And that's something that will have a pretty significant impact on how the game plays out for you. So whether you really want to collect all the sprites or you just want to get wins in Fortnite, farming during this power hour is something that can really benefit you, and the safest way to do that is just going to be looting POIs and looting sprite chests in the storm, while you should be relatively uncontested doing so, and then extracting in the storm. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.